my name is Brian Lim. I'm the head of agency impact team. Basically, my main job function is analysis, result, and reports. So basically, we are the source of the data reports to all the agency force. So basically, that sums up what actually my role is in insurance. Before KPIs came into picture, normally actually they are processes that actually we have to go through just to get the reports out. For example, basically normal reports, it takes us about 3 days to cover the reports, and a very more complex result to us maybe 4 working days. So that was live before KPI saw, and that actually put a lot of pressure in the sales team, right? Where the agency are demanding instant reports. Where are they? All the context challenges that we have rolled out. And when KPI came to the picture, we have give the agency as a sales team an enabler for them to get an instant access to these reports. Because when it comes to iManage, all these reports is instant, right? Basically, by fingertips, they can see where they are. And that actually create a lot of what I call it drive, momentum, as well as fighting spirit among the agency force, right? Because now they know where they are, there and then. As simple and as quick they can be. We had this what I call our group agency managers who are actually very good in managing his team, right? And he actually had been bombarding my team for the reports every time. And but for us, we try our best, right, to provide what I call it the faster solution, faster report to them. But normally through our old method of doing things, that by the time we what I call it count the report, which is 3 days, then only the reports being cascade out to the our sales team locally. So there's a time gap, right, for them to receive the final reports. So with this KPI in the picture, this GAM basically thrilled. Basically now I think by 24 hours or 36 hours, he can see basically the whole team performance. So that's something that really he said, wow, I wish to have this 10 years ago. It made my life easier, right, to track, to monitor, and to push my team to do a better performance. So I think that is the testimonial of what I call it, how does actually iManage really helps in the agency management. KPIs have changed the way how my team works in a way that previously it's all manual. Now when it comes to manual, it takes times. Right, example for a normal reports, it takes 3 days, 3 working days just to count reports. And a more complex, what I call it, context or challenges will take us about 5 working days. So that is a number that actually, if you were to put at the perspective of the sales team, is something that actually costs them in terms of productivity. Now, when the KPIs came into picture, basically they have an instant, what I call it, access to the result, everything. Now it's about 24 hours to 36 hours kind of refresh of the data. So that in the way enable the sales team as well as the agency force to have an instant access to the data, to the result. 3 benefits I would say to sum up how does KPIs sort of help in the agency management is that first I would say is speed. I think in terms of sales management, agency management, speed are crucial. Every second count in getting the sales. And of course, the next what I call it value that I can think of is that in terms of the what I call it convenience, right? So now everything is at your fingertips. Before this, what agency need to do, or even the sales team do, they need to log into web portals, log in the ID, blah blah blah, scroll where's the result, and not everyone actually want to do that. Okay, having an app that actually give you all the power, but to have your report or have the result in your fingertips. So I think that's a great thing that what I call it KPIs have bring the value to it especially. And the last value that I can think of is that innovative. Basically, KPI Soft have provide us an innovation. It's something that actually, if you were to ask the agency for, it's something that they are actually looking forward. Right? All this while we have been operating using the old method, traditional method. Print out the physical reports, log in the web portal kind of thing. So that is the thing of the past. Now we're talking about speed, everyday and instant. So I managed give that enable to Zurich to move forward. No doubt that we have now the enabler to like have a fast access to the what I call it data whatsoever. But I think moving forward the trend will be like perhaps we can talk about artificial intelligence kind of what I call it trackings or this kind of thing. So I think that will brings the whole level of agency management to the next level. And basically, when we talk about what I call it artificial intelligence, it's something that perhaps when someone is maybe on pace like 50% or 80%, a message just prompt to them, prompt the sales manager, just like everyone, just make sure that everyone's at their toes in terms of their day-to-day sales tracking kind of thing. So I think that will really help, especially the sales team, right, to like push their people to the next level, right? Rather than, oh, I just wait for the final result, oh, I'm at 80%. So it will be great that and we can reach that level is that before that happen, something has prompted them like, yeah, we're out of there, push forward somehow. So yeah, I think that will be great for the future. Well, if KPISO were not in the picture, I would think that my team will be more, what I call it, load up, stress up, basically because we have more and more content or challenges launched every day, every week, every month. So that actually putting a lot of pressure to the team. And as well, currently like Takaful are in the picture. Now we're talking about almost 10,000 agency force. So serving a 10,000 agency force by using a manual kind of approach is not the way of doing things. Well, so that's why I think with KPISoft in the picture, actually it has lessened our burden. And looking forward to move forward with better innovation, better solution to the agency force. I think the current challenges that I think the whole industry is facing currently, especially for insurance, that I would say the first thing with the newly launched balance scorecard. Basically, balance scorecard is a good initiative by the regulatory just to make sure the level of professionalism of the whole industry is at par. And that basically create a lot of stress because balance scorecard basically is KPI based, right? You need to know a lot of KPIs. Where are you? Then only your commission, so the commission what percentage will be paid out. So I think that in a way have created a pressure point in terms of the agency or how they perform. Now when it comes to the KPISoft actually have great like the manage, we basically have a module for the balance scorecard, and that actually greatly assists the agency force to know where they are at their respective KPI so they can perform, right? And I think currently the whole industry is at a consolidation stage. So with that in mind and the tools that I think the KPISoft have provided to Zurich, I think that actually lessen the burden of obviously and the what I call it create a lot of provide some enabler to the agency force right, moving forward with this kind of challenges and stress from the industry. Basically, I think what I want to add is that okay, moving forward, the digital journey of the I think Zurich is we are just starting the journey. So I would say the journey going to be interesting, judging by what we have seen now. And I think even the agency force and the sales team are looking forward for better innovation, better solution and tools that I think we can provide to them, and just to assist them in a day-to-day management. To me, KPISoft is speed and convenience. That's basically what I can somehow form the perspective of what I'm doing currently. Because that is what the sales team agency is talking about.